who would be your title pick next season, Bud?
Georgia. I think they return the best quarterback of all the what we would consider like immediate contenders out there. And just from some chatter here, it sounds like Dumas Johnson was going to get Wally pipped. Like he got dinged up, and then they're like, "Oh, CJ Allen is an absolute future 10-year pro type thing," and Wilson's coming along. It seems like Georgia got the right guys to not declare, and they have the quarterback coming back, and so I would pick Georgia.
I would also pick Georgia. And then the question is, if Michigan's title gets vacated, is it a three-peat for Georgia?
No.
Well, is it a four-peat if Georgia wins next year? I mean, that's.
Oh.
Georgia's schedule is certainly tough, but this is, as the chat's pointing out, but this is a good example of we need to consider things slightly differently in the 12-team era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who
would you have? Do you feel like a very strong feeling about a non? If Chip's answer is Georgia, do you have a strong feeling about a non-Georgia team?
I mean, like right now in the moment, the idea of an angry Ohio State, just like with loading up and trying to do everything it can, dog backed in the corner, desperation day, like
desperation day.
Desperation
day 3.
I Desperation Day Part 3. I have never I don't have the Dodfathers like track record, but I've never in my career of covering college football seen a 56-8 coach with more desperation than Ryan Day will have next year.
I mean, I'd be happy. I'd like Ohio State to get back to being badass Ohio State. I'm just skeptical that it'll be badass Ohio State. I think the more badass
not really
teams
skeptical
you have,
about
the better.
The defense. I think the defense will be pretty on point.
Texas.
Does that defense really be as good? Like if Arch lives up to being Arch Manning, then yeah. I mean, I think they'll be in the hunt. I just don't know if I'm ready to proclaim them a title team yet. But at the same time, you mentioned Dodd. I don't know if it was Dennis's we saw, but Adams posted in our Slack today like a too early top 25. You know who's at number 6?
Arizona.
Yeah. And I love Arizona. I know. That's what I said. I've been hyping Arizona up. Yeah. I don't know if it was Dodd or Adam. I don't know whose it was.
Sorry. That was from one of our companies. Okay, got it. Sorry.
No.
Anything can happen. All lists are valid in January. Like I didn't have Washington in my top 25 list.
No,
I was like, I love Arizona. I've been hyping that team up all year, but 6?
So they bring back like 18 starters from this year. They just lost their defensive coordinator, notable. Their defense was very good this year, but they do bring back like something around the number of 18 starters. That number might be off, but not by a lot. And they are in the Big 12. And the way that I understand it is that the crux of the position is that they are one of the Big 12 favorites. And that if you are one of the favorites to win the Big 12, you're going to end up with 10, 11 wins. And so a preseason top 10 ranking, if you believe that Arizona is the Big 12 favorite, sure, I'll take that.
Yeah, it also is very possible the Big 12 champion has like 9 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess 10-3 because the conference championship game.
What about Oregon? Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, I think you have to put Oregon up there. So I don't even love Dylan Gabriel, but he's a competent college quarterback who's like 100 years old and knows what he's doing. And the roster's rapidly improving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it crazy to think that Penn State takes a leap?
Yes.
It's
okay. They're kind of post-type sleeper status, right?
Andy Kotelnicki.
Yeah, like
no.
They got a lot of hype this year.
You've sold me the offensive coordinator change so many times.
This is different, Chip. This time he's going to change.
This time he's going to change. I promise.
He promised he won't go halfway.
Yeah, no, I believe that it is crazy to believe that this is the year they make the leap because the neighborhood at the top is getting tougher. And I don't know, man, you might have missed your window to do the big stuff. I mean, Penn State will make playoffs, but
yeah. I'll throw another one out there at you. Alabama.
Nah, they suck.
No, like, I mean, if it's not insane to think, like, is it likely that Jalen Milroe takes enough of a step as a passer that they can get it done? I don't know if it's likely, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility that he improves a lot as a passer. Second year as a starter, more comfort in the offense, maybe the offense even more tailored to him with the full offseason of committing, to him being the quarterback as opposed to last year when you went out and got a guy who's now playing lacrosse because you were so not sold on what he was. This is fun. I like the fact that there are so many teams that we can't rule out.
yeah.
Now, if Georgia just plays so damn well that it's a foregone conclusion, all right, you still got to go win 3 tough games in a row.
What does Washington look like next year?
Not as good as this year. I think that's a team that has to replace a lot. And I don't think that they are roster-wise at a place to where you can expect them just to reload. Now, coaching-wise, I think they have a strong enough staff to where they're going to win more games than they lose, but they're not going to – I don't think they're making the playoff next year. I don't think they're competing for a Big Ten title. I think they're just going to be like an 8-4 kind of team.
I mean, what's their schedule?
No disrespect, even though it's going to be disrespect and sound like disrespect. You're going from Michael Penix to Will Rogers. And I think Will Rogers is good in a certain offense. I do not think that Will Rogers is a difference maker.
Well, let's do the game. All right. Left tackle Fatanu, I'm guessing, is gone. He's a true junior. Kalepo, the guard, probably stays. The center is a redshirt freshman. He can't go. The right guard's a sophomore. He can't go. Right tackle's also a sophomore, but he might be a –
Nah,
I don't think he's going pro.
That's Raj, right? Rosengarten?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosengarten's, I think, is true sophomore.
I mean, you're starting from a place of bringing back likely 4 of your 5 offensive linemen from the Joe Moore Award-winning offensive line, right?
But we saw what happened to that line tonight.
That is true. You do lose both tight ends, Culp and Westover, unless one of them has a COVID year, which is possible. You lose Penix. You lose
Adunze.
Jalen Polk has got to be a redshirt sophomore, right?
I think Polk is gone. I think
there's no
McMillan's
way
gone.
True sophomore, because like I think he was going into his senior year in high school in 2020, so that would be 21, 20. Yeah, so okay.
You're losing Trice. You're losing Edifon. You're probably
is McMillan going pro for sure.
Not for sure.
He got banged up. He's probably like a later round draft pick. Like
he might be like, if I come back and I'm the number 1, that could really improve his stock. So maybe he comes back.
And maybe Polk plays the Odunze role, although Polk could easily go pro too. That's a large part of it. I mean, teams have to play you in a 2-deep shell because they're scared like crazy of your receivers. If you lose all 3 of those receivers and both tight ends and your quarterback, that's going to be difficult. All right,
Polk
defensively,
is a redshirt sophomore. Adunze and McMillan are both true juniors. Polk is a redshirt sophomore.
Well, Dunze is gone.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I was wrong about Raj. Rosengarten is a redshirt sophomore. I
still think he's coming back.
Yeah, I would say he's probably coming back.
All right, Trice is gone.
Edifon's gone.
The entire defensive front and the one good linebacker, Olafashio, those are all seniors. And then the secondary, just the safeties are seniors. So, yeah, I mean, that is a materially different team next year. I don't know. We'll see.
Like you said, Tom, I am buying into this staff and this program, as long as they are intact, is a very, very high floor.
Yeah.
I'm not changing that opinion based on the result of the final score here, because like we said earlier, after that start, I thought Washington's adjustments defensively were pretty good. I thought that they did a good job of being able to try as best they could to get themselves back into the game. But it was not going to be enough, not against this elite Michigan defense, a defense that had been elite all season. Does Kalen DeBoer get off the bus and win 8 games? Probably. But if we're talking about getting back to this level, 14 wins, playing for a national championship, that's probably going to take another special talent like Michael Penix. Like another special wide receiver room like the group that you have right here. So we'll see what it looks like, and we will be excited, of course, to look at that new Big Ten with Washington, with Oregon, with USC, with UCLA, all joining the fold in 2024.